Hi, this is Bill from Hirogari. Today I wanted to share about buying studio gear in Japan and give you some tips and examples. There's also a little more detailed information in a blog post that I'll link to in the video description. So, why buy gear in Japan? Well, I live in Australia and in a regional part of the country. Thanks to the internet, although shipping can be an issue, the prices for new equipment are pretty much equalised. But for second-hand gear, where I live, there's not a really broad user base turning over equipment that often, so the only option is to go online. Which brings up the shipping issue again, but also just purchasing can be a gamble. Can you trust the seller? Is very good condition really very good? And second-hand gear in Japan is usually in very good condition, and I suspect it's in part because houses and apartments are small, and people know that they'll eventually have to part with something to make room for the latest and greatest kit, so they look after it. I'm lucky enough to go to Japan at least once a year for a few weeks to visit family, so recently I've been getting into some older keyboards and gear, and so for the last 2 years I've come back with some new studio editions, a Korg Micro X and an Alesis Micron. For both of these keyboards I paid less than I would have on eBay or Gumtree, and the condition's fantastic. This week I purchased a Korg X5DR, the sound module version of the Korg X5, and it came with the original manual and power adapter, and I paid 7,800 yen, which equates to about $91 Australian. When checking eBay, it shows me one for double that amount plus postage. I also purchased a Korg MSR 2000 rack, which I've been wanting for a while, an original manual power supply for 24,800 yen, or about $290 Australian. Again, eBay has similar items for a higher price, plus the addition of postage. Because I've been loading up on hardware since, I bought an eMagic AMT8 MIDI interface, which I'm really excited about because in addition to USB, it also comes with the old Apple Serials bus connector, so I can potentially use it with MasterTrax Pro on my Mac SE30 and go really old school. 5,800 yen with manual, driver discs, cables and power supply, which is about $70 Australian. eBay prices are double that plus postage. I bought the MS2000R and the AMT8 whilst visiting Tokyo last week, and I paid the store about 2,000 yen to have them packaged and shipped to Osaka, where I'm staying with family. They arrived packaged incredibly securely, much better than items I've purchased online before actually, so I'm going to leave them secured like that to bring back to Australia. Because I'm here on a tourist visa, and I purchased from the second-hand retailers that let you do so, I purchased all these items duty-free. So that means that I didn't pay an additional 8% sales tax per item, and there's also the option at some retailers to pay by credit card and receive an additional 5% off the pre-tax price, but you'll need to check with your card issuer or the store for details. So where can you find gear? Well, I'm going to share with you two options that I've repeatedly bought gear from. They're both part of the Softmap Bic Camera Group and our department brand Creators Land, which was originally MIDI Land back in the 90s. There's one in Akihabara in Tokyo and one in Nipponbashi in Osaka. Both are easily accessible. They're the kind of repositories for any second-hand music technology related gear that gets traded into any Softmap or Bic Camera store in their respective regions. Akihabara Creators Land is currently housed upstairs in the Softmap Mac Collection building, opposite the Don Quixote variety store on Chuodori. It has the bigger range of the two stores, I think primarily due to the density of the Tokyo metropolitan region. Bigger population, more musicians, more hardware. Nanba Creators Land is located upstairs in Softmap Saurus 2, which is accessible from the Nipponbashi Ota Road or Nansan Dori. The range is never usually as big as the one in Akihabara, but you do find some gems, I think primarily because they're sourcing their kit from people who aren't taking it to a specialist music technology shop. Their website is worth a look. They usually announce specials on new arrivals on their Twitter. They also list most of the stuff they have on the shelf at any one time in this section. Akihabara is the first list, followed by Nanba, and they'll give the price, the condition, the inclusions, but not always a photo. Remember that the price is always ex-tax. You'll need to add 8% unless you are purchasing duty-free. If you don't do Japanese, use a browser plugin like Nikai-chan to help translate the page, or copy or paste the condition details into Google Translate. Again, just looking at this list, they have an EMU Proteus 2000 listed at 21,800 yen, which is about $250 Australian, which is at least equal, if not better, to what's available on eBay. One thing to consider is power. Japanese power runs at 100 volts, but in Australia, for example, we run at 240 volts. So check the power supplies of any gear that you're thinking of buying or that you do buy. Sometimes the power supply simply needs a plug adapter, but sometimes you need an entirely new power supply. Korg in particular like to go negative pin, where it's often a positive pin on most power supplies. So luckily there's loads of options in store and online for power adapters, and you can still get the genuine manufacturers devices through a local or online music shop, just remember to always do your homework. There's no point in getting a great deal on a piece of kit and then frying it because you didn't read the power supply specifications properly. I hope this has been a useful video for you. Check out the blog post that goes with this at hirogarimusic.com, and link to it in the video description for links for this article and more information. Thanks for watching.